up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent and haven't done this particular show, in a little bit. Between doing the late night show with RC and then, I do the show in the afternoon with the OG crew. Thursdays and Fridays, I do it in the afternoon with Kyle. I don't know. I felt like some days I could just skip this one, but I know some people do like it. And today, we have our good friend Veno here, so gotta do the show when Veno's available. Yesterday I went 3-2, 2-2 in NBA, 1-0 in college. So profitable day, and we'll try to do it again here today. Veno, it's been a while. How have you been? How's everything going for you?
Yeah, it's going good, Skee. I'm just looking here so I can get correct numbers because, again, I come on and I'm still able to tout the fact that since December 1st, it's been a really good run. And I'll speak especially on the NBA here as I pull up these numbers. So NBA since December 1st, plus 31.5 units, 35 and 19, 64.8% winners, 29% return on investment. It's been good. It was good last night. I find myself focusing so much and zeroing in now, Skee, on team totals, individual team totals. And last night, 3 of them were good to me, including the Clippers, 126. They got over their number. Charlotte got over their number. And the Houston Rockets in Denver got over their number. I feel like there were a lot of back-to-backs that we could capitalize on last night. The game that got me, and I should know better, it resonates in the back of my head. I can't lay points with teams that don't get stops. Here I am looking at that Atlanta lineup last night and thinking there's no way Chicago can't win by 6. They didn't win. They didn't score 100 points. So, again, that adage came to fruition. That's the one that got me. But it was a good night otherwise.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising. Nobody really available for the Hawks, and they still got it done outright. So we got 6 games here today. We try to see if we could find some money. I did make a play already in the NBA. Also made a play in college. But we'll talk about it. First game up, Pacers and Pistons opened up. Pistons minus 2.5, and they are now, looks like, either 1.5 or 2, mostly 1.5. Actually, looks like what I'm looking at here. How do I get this off my screen? Something just, there we go. Total opened up 228, looks like 229. As far as injuries, we know it's no Ivy. For the Pacers, Hallie's game time, Neesmith is game time. Mathurin is suspended after going after the lady ref in the last game. So Veno, Pistons, they're a different Pistons team now. 21 and 19, more wins than all of last season. Pacers, I feel like they kind of have found their rhythm for a little bit. It's kind of interesting sidewise. I want to look at it from a prop perspective. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Cade Cunningham, over 41.5 PRA. He's hit this 8 out of 10 games without Ivy. And he's averaging, I think, a little bit under 44. So it went up a little bit, but I still think we can make it. Like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Cade PRA. Veno, how are you viewing Pacers and Pistons?
All right. So you know that usually, well, first off, let's say this. You're just not used to Detroit being in this particular situation, laying points, especially to a team that has a playoff type roster. I think I read this morning, Skee, that Indiana 8-7 is a road dog, which is a pretty good mark where NBA numbers are concerned. But Detroit, again, not really overall familiar with being a favorite. But I went to the total immediately. 3 looks here that you could, take your choice with. First of all, surprisingly, and very, very under the radar, the Pistons are 13-4 over their team total last 17 games. 13-4 over. We don't know Detroit is a scoring team, but like you say, it kind of correlates with Cade Cunningham and his run during this recent stretch that has them up and over 500. And, according to the team and the coach and everybody, it's just a simple thing of trusting teammates. But where Detroit's concerned, they're scoring. Tonight, they're asked to do a little bit, over 114.5, some places 115. Where the Pacers, of course, that's one of my favorite go-tos, Pacers team total over, especially when they're going good on offense. Played pretty good on offense the other night in a loss despite not having Halliburton. They're only asked to get over 113.5 here tonight. To me, between that or the full game total, which is you can get at 228.5, I think those are the two looks that I have here. Detroit, like I said, I couldn't argue anybody off of their individual team total at 13-4. Those are strong numbers. They're putting up points, but I usually defer to Pacers team total. May do so again here over the 113.5. Haven't done it yet, but I'm probably likely to.
Fair enough. We'll keep going to Suns and Wizards. This game opened up minus 11.5, still sitting right there for Phoenix. Total open 234, and this is coming down as low as 231. For Phoenix, there will be no Bradley Beal, no Nick Richards yet, no Nurkic. For Washington, a little bit healthier over there, it looks like. Bagley's out, though. Sadiq Bey and Brogdon are out. Wizards, I'm trying to do this math in my head because I know I looked at them a few games ago for that Philly game, and I think 19 of their 21 losses had been, or maybe after that game, it was 19 of their 21 losses, something like that. They've lost by double digits. And I see like the 3 games after that, they've lost by double digits again. So I always say, seeing this point spread range against the Wizards team is not surprising. For the Suns, it is their 4th game in 6 nights, but it should be a bounce back spot after losing to Atlanta as a favorite. One thing for the Wizards, though, they do have the rest advantage in this game. 2 days of rest for them. Do you think that's enough for them to keep it close or competitive, Veno?
I mean, you always have to say it could be, right, Skee? But who the heck wants to chance it with their money on the Wizards? Like you say, they make a habit of getting beat by large margins. And Phoenix, the other night, crazy game. They kind of let me down a little bit. I had them against Atlanta. They're behind. They make a big run. They go ahead. And then, of course, Trey had 43 that night, and Atlanta wins it down the stretch. So bounce back for Phoenix, probably a good look here. They have been playing pretty decent ball. Bradley Beal should be on the floor back in Washington, but he's not going to be. So don't have him. To the bench, that move, bringing him to the bench, turned out to be pretty good for Phoenix. Won't have that here. I still think they have enough, Skee. If I had to play the game and I didn't, I think you'd have to lean towards Phoenix simply because Washington just finds a way to lose games by big numbers. Crazy shot selection, no defense. I just don't trust Phoenix defensively enough to bet them at minus 11.5, so I'll let it go. But that's the way I'd probably look if I had to.
Yeah, we're in agreement with this game. So we'll leave it at that. Jamrock Kick says Wizards suck even more without Brogdon. I would agree with that. Cavs and Thunder. Looks like this is going to be the game of the night. Oh, only 5 games. I thought I counted 6. Only 5 games for the night. But yeah, this is the best one. It opened up OKC -4. Looks like -2 is a consensus right now. Total came down from 234. 233 looks like consensus. Injuries, man, they do have Jalen Williams, the center, out there for OKC, but no Hardenstein. Still no Chet. I feel like that's a big deal in this matchup. For the Cavs, just Ty Jerome, game time decision. We know they got the trees down there for the Cavaliers, and it could be a big disadvantage here for OKC. So it's hard for me to look their way, even being at home here in this matchup. One thing I'll say is if you're minus a little bit of, couple rim protectors, OKC's probably going to play a little bit more of tempo. Cleveland can probably score a little bit more in the paint. I'm thinking, the last game went over 2, right? I'm thinking 233 might not be high enough. I'm disagreeing with the line move down. How do you feel about it, Veno?
I couldn't have said it any better. I might as well just hand my note sheet over to you, Skee. First of all, we talk about it quite a bit. The Thunder are always, not always, but when they play big teams, are at a disadvantage. Isaiah Hartenstein is asked to do everything in the post. And beyond that, he's a really good passer, too. So when they don't have him tonight, and then you're staring at a starting lineup with Dean Wade, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. We talk about this all the time. The first thing I look toward when I look at a Cleveland game is, do they have that interior size advantage? If they do, I look their way more often than not. Here, it's a gaping hole. And I thoroughly agree with you. Oklahoma City's ticket to winning this game is probably to play fast. They're a really good defense, but they're a really good defense because they're disruptive, not necessarily because they can just get you into a half court and shut you down. But their guards and wings get their hands on the ball. They get out and go. That's the way to me that they would have to win this particular contest. Have to shoot threes pretty well. Have to get some steals. Have to get up and go because they're going to get mauled at the rim. I mean, first of all, for Cleveland's side, it could be a layup drill for their players if they want it to be. And secondly, for Oklahoma City's side, they have to get quick points before, the tree's set up down there. So to me, I would say this: if you like Oklahoma City to get their revenge tonight, then you really need to be on over because that's their ticket to winning the game. If you think that the disadvantage in the paint is too much to overcome, then just take 2 points. Play money line because Oklahoma City probably won't win the game if that's the case. Those are the two ways I'd look. The preferred look for me is over 233. Cleveland had that one mirage game against Indiana where they played the back-to-backs with the Pacers. That it was like a 102-94. Cleveland didn't even make on. Then they came right back the next night or 2 nights later and scored the way they're supposed to score. I think 233 is a little light for the way this game's going to be played.
Yeah, so we kind of agree there. Last time they played, they scored a little bit over 250. Most people in the chat agree, but we have one person sharing a stat. Joe the Gambler. He says going back to 2010, 2 elite teams, elite being greater than 70% win percentage, and the last matchup went over. The total is over 3 points higher than last time, he says. 19-8 to the under. So he took the under. So I guess this query is saying, 2 elite teams, they're going to be more used to each other playing this next time around. So interesting look from Joe the Gambler. Most of us in here see it a little bit different. We'll see how it shakes out. Next game up, we have Clippers and Blazers. This one opened up Clippers -6. We now see them -7, 6.5. I think is the consensus number. Far as total, open 222, and this has come down to 219.5. Injuries. Kawhi will not be playing. Trey Mann is game time decision. For Portland, Denny is doubtful. There will be no Klingon, no Robert Williams, no Jeremy Grant, no Matisse Thybulle. The Clippers are playing their 3rd and 4th and 6th, second of a back-to-back, but I mean that game was easy yesterday. Did they set an NBA record or what? I think they were up by like 60 points. So I don't think we have to worry about too much fatigue from that game. If anything, maybe just the travel. The Blazers, they are coming off a loss. Surprisingly, they were a favorite. So maybe they come out with it thinking they should have won that game. They do have the rest advantage. Do you think the Blazers at home with the rest advantage getting 7 can hang in this game versus the Clippers?
I think situationally, if that's the way you want to play it, yes, they could. Like you say, they're putting that role of, what were they, like 6-point favorites the other night against Brooklyn, and they couldn't get. I know Brooklyn returned a couple of guys that night, Cam Johnson, D'Angelo Russell, but really Portland never had that game anywhere near covering. So bounce back could be in effect for them. If I was going to look at Portland, Skee, honestly, I would look at them early, thinking that the Clippers, off of a 59-point win, now going to Portland, another game that they should win, even though the minutes weren't taxing last night. I would almost think that LA has a complacent attitude coming in here, like roll them out. We're going to kick Portland's ass. No big deal. And maybe Portland, who I think, I don't have these numbers in front of me, but I believe Portland's been a pretty good first quarter team.
Yeah.
and maybe they can get to them early, and then LA gets the wake up call and ends up winning the game like they're supposed to. So for me, I don't want to take the chance on Los Angeles um, being a fully focused show up here. I don't know that it will be, but I think Portland right out of the chute and off the opening tip will be. So my looks would either be Portland first quarter. I'm looking here; they're +2, or Portland first half. Well, Portland first half is only +3.5. I think you're better off playing Portland first quarter minus or +2 Skee. To be honest with you, I think they might catch LA, like I say, a little bit lackluster early on, and then LA gets the wake up call and goes on from there.
Not never mad at Blazers first quarter. I did say I thought that would be a good bet to start the year. Like you play it every time. I thought you would make money, and I did play it for the first few games, and I was making money, but I didn't continue. So can't tell you exactly how it's doing, but I think that's a solid way to play the Blazers in this game. Last but not least, Rockets and Kings opened up -3 for Sacramento. They're now a 4-point favorite. Total went from 226.5 down to 225. It looks like right now. Injuries still early, but Easton is game time. Landale's game time. Smith out for the Rockets. Jabari Smith, we know he'll be out for a while. Malik Monk looks like he's probable. Devin Carter is truly questionable, and then McLaughlin is out. So the Rockets, another team who playing a back to back, but that's another game that didn't seem too taxing for them. Fourth game in 6 nights for the Kings. It is their first game home off a long or decent road trip. They do have the rest advantage though. They did lose their last game, but before that, what they win like 6, 7 in a row. Ever since they fired Mike Brown and playing for Doug Christie, so it's tough. I mean, in a normal situation, it's actually absolutely a king spot, but I don't have that much confidence to put my money on them. Do you, Vino?
I think it could be a Kings team total spot, Ski. They've gone over their team total 6 straight. Even in the loss to Milwaukee the other night, they still scored 115. Here they're home, and you laid out kind of the which side of the fence do you stand on argument here. Do you put more stock in fading Houston because they're coming from altitude to play the second of back-to-backs, but yet it wasn't a hard 48 minutes for them. They had Denver wire to wire. Or you put more stock in fading Sacramento because it's the first home game after a long road trip. I think those cancel each other out where side is concerned. But I do think that the way Sacramento is playing now for Doug Christie and the fact that De'Aaron Fox, I think it's his second game back from injury. He came back the other night. Maybe it's his third. But with Fox back, even still, they were going over their team total without him. I have to believe that Houston's defensive effort was max heading into last night. They were sitting there in Denver waiting for Denver. They were rested. Denver wasn't. Houston attacked right away. I don't know that they can have the same defensive focus here. Not that they won't have it, but on a 100% scale, maybe it's only 85 tonight. I would think Sacramento over 114.5 is a play. Why buck the trend showing that since Doug Christie took over, they're more of an offensive unit, which is what we know them to be anyway. They're really a better offensive team than anything else. Mike Brown tried for years to tell them to play defense, and he just couldn't get through until he got fired. So I'm going to look that way. Sacramento over 114.5 team total.
Yeah, that seems like a solid look in this game. The chat loving Houston first half or first quarter. It looks like everybody's on that bet. So we'll see how that one shakes out. That's the NBA card. Quick 5 games for a Thursday, and we'll move it on over to best bets. Ben, it's been so long since I've done this show. I know how to source. But Vino, I do always like to ask if there's anything you would like to promote. I know you've been killing it, like you said, since December 1st. Um, I know I do always put the link to both of our profiles for Wager Talk in the description to the video. So if you do want to check Rob Vino out, make sure you just click the description. It'll be right there, and you can get on this heater with him. But if there's anything more you'd like to promote, and if you have a best bet for the show, cool. If you don't, cool as well.
Yeah, I'll just say real quick, Ski, where promotion is concerned, just if you haven't signed up over at Wager Talk yet, it's a lot of free stuff you can get just by putting your email address in. Access to all the videos that they do each and every day, and also access to the written content and analysis every single day. It's probably worth an email address. So if you're not currently a member, go over there. I'll actually be part of a college football roundtable in about the next 10 minutes. For those of you who are interested in the Ohio State Notre Dame game, I'll be there with colleagues Rob Michaels, Drew Martin, Joe Ranieri to talk about that one, so you can join in there after you watch us. Best bet, Ski. I will use one here because it seems to provide gold for me more often than not, and that's the Indiana team total. I think 113.5 for that squad is a little soft in this game against Detroit, where Detroit's been playing higher scoring games. We made reference to their ability to get over their own team total. Game total, I wouldn't be mad at, but I think I'd rather isolate and play Indiana team total up and over 113.5. It's something I'm on. So that's why I'll leave it here with you guys on the show. Indiana over 113.5.
All right, good stuff for Veno. Couple more things I will shout out. First, something I do use every day. Where we go? Yeah, it's been so long. There we go. The Money Baller. You can see it up there at the top. I use it to help me cap the games every day. It gives you everything you need, really. Whether it's trends, just the stats on the games. You can go last 5 full season. Everything is color coded. It gives you the situational stuff, and it's for these professional sports that you can see up there at the top. So if you use promo code Skee, you can get 50% off your first month, and check it out. See if it maybe helps you cap the games better as well. So the link to that is in the description. And then last but not least, been so long, Vino, since I've done this. So let's see if I can do it correctly here. Think that will work. Yeah, there we go. So Splash Sports pick of the day. We'll go with, or I'm sorry, before I give the pick of the day, if you would like to be involved at Splash Sports, you can use promo code Profit. You play $100, you get $50. And the reason Splash Sports is good because you compete against other people instead of the house. So you don't even, if you have a 4 pick, you don't even have to win all 4 to get paid. You just have to beat everybody else in the competition. And they have really good DFS multipliers. I think for a 4 pick, it's like 12 times. So it's really solid. Splash Sports pick of the day. We'll go with Cade Cunningham. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Over 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Like I said, he's hit it 8 out of 10 games without Ivy, averaging closer to 44. And it's just a lot of responsibility for him, whether it's scoring, getting everybody involved. It's just everything on his shoulders. So especially in a game like tonight where Detroit is favorite, I think if they do get the W, he's going to cash his PRA once again. So that is the pick of the day for myself. Vino, I appreciate you taking the time to come cap the games with us. We will be back live again tomorrow. Same time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And for you guys in the chat, appreciate you as well. I know some of you guys reached out and said, damn, where's the morning show? So we have it today. We'll have it again tomorrow. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later.